Hey everybody, Small Sarah Big Soul here to introduce another episode of Life Theories. In this episode, we will be talking about different ways the universe might test us and different lessons that we could learn from the universe during these tests. We talk about boundaries and a whole bunch of other stuff too. So if you would like to check out any of the links or books that we discuss in today's episode, you can find the links in our description below. And if you would like to follow the other members of the Life Theories crew, you can find Diana at Trailblazers of the Universe on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And you can find Jay at WW Health on Instagram and YouTube. And you can find me, Small Sarah Big Soul, right here on YouTube and on Instagram too. We're usually joined by our friend Cortez as well, but he wasn't able to join us today. So let's get into this chat. If you like what you're seeing today, please remember to like and subscribe and leave us a comment down below so that we can interact with our audience. Have a good day, guys. I hope you enjoy this chat.
So
Let us get into it.
No worries. Well, where you want to start?
I mean, I could. I have a very interesting theory on the universe testing us. I don't think the universe does test us. I think it sets us up to learn lessons that our souls need to learn. And in doing that, if you've ever noticed that there are specific lessons that you don't quite learn the first time, and the universe will put you in a very similar situation a couple years down the road and make you go over it again and again and again until you figure it out. I think that's the universe just trying to get your soul to take on that lesson and really learn what that lesson has to offer instead of being tested. I don't think the universe has that much forethought into planning tests for us. I think our souls, when we came here, signed on to learn very specific lessons. And the universe helps put things in our path so our soul can learn these lessons. So rather than looking at things like you're being tested, look at it like a lesson. And when these tests or lessons come up, if you look at it in a way of, what am I supposed to learn from this? Where have I experienced this before? How did I experience this before? What could I do differently this time to learn the lesson I need to learn from this experience so that I can move on and stop experiencing this in a circle or in a cycle? So instead of feeling like a victim of some kind of cruel test, look at it like you're a student and the teacher or the mentor, which is the universe, is presenting you with another opportunity to learn something. Even if you felt, I've learned this before and I've done this before, to look at it like, what could I learn from this lesson a second time around? What can I take from this a second time around? Rather than feeling like you're being put through some sort of cruel, unasked for test. In my opinion, that's just the way
I like your theory. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do. I've been put through a fair few challenges. And I think, as I said, you go back to what Russell Brand says, all comes down to one word, whether it's innocence, whether it's happiness. What else we got there? Acceptance. What else we got there? Love, self-love, trust, worth. So you can actually get what you just said and go, right, what word is associated with that lesson for your own self to move on? And I can say for me personally, it's obviously getting my self-worth, excuse me, and the lesson of dealing with people, accepting people for what they are. But I find the biggest problem is, and this is where I had the problem for the last probably 4 or 5 weeks, which basically stuffed me up, was, you know how we always do things, right? For me, I always do things because I'm either indirectly affected if I don't do it. Okay, so you're working in a team and someone doesn't pull their weight, but it affects you.
Yeah.
So you have to get over yourself in a way where you just do it my opinion, because otherwise it starts a fight and it's not good. Yeah, you got that one there, or you're basically indirectly being affected by the decision, or you got that lesson to learn, and they're telling you got to step up and learn this. And yeah, for me, it's been like that. It's been a big struggle dealing with people, and being listened to, because people just don't really care, to be perfectly honest, from what I see. What do you think, Diana?
So I look at it as more. So the video I made, I say it's more like responding to you, right? So the vibration you're putting out. So especially when we're going through times of transformation, the whole life, we've been acting as an old version, right? A certain version with certain patterns and thoughts and behaviors and everything, right? So is it testing? It's kind of just responding. Maybe there's some mixed vibration you're putting out. You're trying to be the new version, act differently and do this, but you have this old version that's been your energy, all these emotions, experiences been in your energy field for a while, and behaviors and everything. So when you're changing, there's a transformational stage, right? So even though you may only change to do this, and you're like, and you ask, I agree with Sarah, getting on the victim mindset. It's not, why is this happening to me? It's just, yeah, it's kind of learning a lesson, and like, how can I show up as the new version and keep putting that vibration, that frequency out, so that gets reflected back to me, and not kind of going back and forth between different states of being and different beliefs, like having doubts. Say that you're trying to be this way, but then you're having doubts. You're kind of putting out mixed vibrations sometimes. So yeah, sometimes I don't know if test is the word, but just kind of responding. It's just, which version are you? Which one are you?
Yeah. And it's kind of learning from, if it's something that you've gone through before, like a lesson repeating itself, it's what version of me approached this lesson last time? How did it work out? How did it not work out? And what other version of me can I bring forth this time to correct the issues that stemmed from last time that didn't quite sink in the time before?
Yeah.
Yep. Have you
what's that?
Oh, sorry. No, it's all right. That's okay. It's all good.
I was going to say, like you were saying, like not being listened to, Jay, like that being one of the tests. One of my things that I'm going through right now is not so much not being listened to, but it's about me stepping up and saying the right thing, saying the right words, instead of being like, well, nobody understands me. It should be, maybe I'm not using the right wording. Maybe it's something that I could do better, because if I'm at a point where I feel like I want to give up because nobody's hearing me, maybe it's not me, maybe it's not even them, maybe it's just the language being used, or maybe it's the language that's not being used. With me, I have a really big problem with, I know exactly what I want to say. I will say it to myself till the cows come home. But the moment I get presented the opportunity to say it to the person, I get clammed up and I shut my mouth and I say a dulled down version of what I wanted to express, out of fear of them not accepting my full truth. And I shut myself off, and I'm often left feeling very regretful that I didn't use all of the words that I had said to myself I would use if given the opportunity. But then when the opportunity comes up, I shut myself down. So that's the lesson that I have to learn in communication, of not being heard. And are people hearing me? It's, am I saying the right thing? Am I saying what actually is the most necessary thing to express in this moment? Or am I holding back? Am I using the right type of vocabulary? Am I using the right type of inflections on the words? Am I using words that are able to be heard by people? And going from there, rather than feeling like, well, nobody hears me, it should be thought of, well, maybe I'm not using the right words, or I'm not using the right language.
All right, I'll cut on that one. I just don't think people have the capacity, what I see, to actually listen properly. They say to me, I don't listen. I mean, I hear everything they say, but what people do, especially, I'm in a school scene, so I'm working with other teachers and stuff. They're just like, they do what they have to do, But when you're in a situation of a meeting, you're in a meeting and stuff, and then you just they're going off tangent and just getting what they can in. It makes absolutely no sense because they have to get what they want to say in. They have all these, you should, but where is the, okay, what are we going to do to fix this? It's you should do this. This is what, okay, yeah, well, that means absolutely nothing to me. But
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, then you can't force people to listen in that way, because I see it all the time. It could be language. I mean, I think I'm pretty blunt and pretty direct. It's a case of having the respect for the person to say, right, they're in charge, or they have problems. Come and speak to them instead of trying to. The way they go about it's not the right way to actually enhance what the topic is or the situation, or to diffuse the situation.
Well, yeah. If you it's all about how you approach the situation and the words that you use to open the conversation. I used to have a really big problem with not knowing what is an acceptable way to get people back on track conversationally, how to stop coming at people like it's a blame thing. The book that I read to help me with this, actually, that helped quite a bit, was called Crucial Conversations. And it's a book on like how to have high stakes conversations, whether it be in relationships or office settings. It's an extremely good book. It's not a very long read. If you're having trouble figuring out those things that you just mentioned, of like getting people on track for conversation, having people not waste time, having people not get hung up on the wrong topic of conversation, Crucial Conversations is an extremely good book to read. Both my roommate and I have read it. I don't know if my roommate actually finished reading it or not, but it really helped us with what you were talking about. We would get into arguments that literally had nothing to do with the initial thing we were trying to talk about, and they would waste our entire day. And now that I've read that book and he's read part of the book, we're able to actually check in during conversation to be like, wait a minute, this needs to be reeled back into what we were actually talking about. And it's helped quite a bit to bring the topic of conversation and the focus of the conversation back to where it needs to be to get the end result that you need, rather than being caught up in people's egoic situations. And this is, now you've made me feel like I'm wrong and I have to defend myself. That's what most conversations turn into, is you've said something that makes the other person you're talking to feel like they're wrong in some way. So now they get defensive, or they feel like they need to defend their opinion in some way. So they become defensive, and the conversation becomes about them defending their honor and you checking back in with that, as opposed to what you were actually trying to talk about. So a lot of conversations in this day and age get derailed in that way. So I highly recommend this book.
I'll put the link and picture on the video so they can look it up. No worries.
It's on Amazon and Audible too.
Cool. You can. She's Diana's sitting there doing their yes. Now I'm going to talk about my.
And I have nails now, so like I just like to do things. I fidget. See, now that you have me on the gallery thing, now you can see what I'm doing. That's just how I am. I'm like I'm forgetting. So
I'm a fidget. I'm a fidget too. Don't worry.
Usually I play with my crystal. I have this Sugar Light crystal egg that I usually that's why. But
I have my Dalmatian next to me.
Oh, nice, cool.
So what do you think about that? So it makes sense. I just want to put one more point in. You got different personalities as well. So especially in a corporate or team scene, you've got people domineering with new people coming in and all that showing. I guess it's just like a pack mentality. You go, oh, the newbie. We'll make sure we know what the newbie does, and they've got their own personality traits that you have to sort of work with, I guess. And look, my thing is, if you're running the show, have the respect of the leader. Don't too many damn chiefs. be a warrior and let the chief run it. That's how I've done it. People don't have the concept of that. I think people just want to get their stuff in for what they want, you know, in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of it, you know what I mean? So it's basically we have to work out how to deal with personalities and stuff like that. Sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah. So had a lot of different kinds of jobs and work. Just dealt with a lot of crazy people and interesting personality. I don't say crazy, interesting, difficult personalities. But even to this day, basically, I just remember I'm able to detach from things a lot more than I used to and take the emotion out of it. I kind of just go in a neutral spot. I kind of see that they're at a different level of consciousness. It's not about me getting triggered, because look, we're all humans. We get triggered sometimes, especially there's some people that are more difficult than others. So I try to remove the emotion and especially in work situations, because look, we have to work as a team or with other people. We have to keep working together. So me getting upset for like 5 seconds and then I get over it is not worth the effect that's going to have on our goal of what we're trying to work together and the morale of the team and everything. So when it comes to that kind of stuff, I just kind of, I'm able to direct it. I'm able to just have, it's about listening, not trying to talk over the person and get your point across. This is just not just work, any situation, but that's kind of what I've dealt with more recently. Probably people work and stuff. And yeah, I'm working from home still. And, you know, there's some people. So I just kind of try to understand where they're coming from. I sit back and I said, this is really not worth my energy in reacting. And it's really just, that just makes it worse for me. And most likely me reacting is not going to get their point. It's not making anything better. Let's just say that. So I try to sit back and I try to understand where they're coming from. And I kind of listen. I just try to give like a neutral response. Well, hey, I understand this. You feel this way, or I understand this, blah, blah, blah. But this, you know, but in order for us to get the result we want, we need to do, or I don't do too much of like, I think, or it'd be best if this needs to happen. You know, there's a way to approach it, you know.
Yeah.
A more neutral approach, understanding, sit back, not all tense. And but I understand some people are different, but it's just not worth it. And being all mad and triggered, you're gonna be triggered all day over something that happened for 1 minute at work, and you're gonna like, it's ridiculous, man. Or just in life, I mean, in all areas of life, but some things are just not worth. It's not gonna mean shit tomorrow. It's not gonna mean shit in an hour, 5 minutes. So
I took that attitude, your attitude I took, right? So I had a crappy day, like on Thursday down here. And so we had some issues and whatever it may be, right? So I walked out being responsible and all this stuff. So I took your attitude. The next day I got up and go, right, stuff this for a joke. Let's go sort this out. I'm just going to do what I do best. And mate, the energy just changed. And I'll be honest with you, I ignored certain things that are coming out, certain personality traits and all that. This is how it is. This is where it is. If you come with and what I did is exactly what Sarah said. I came with a different an attitude that I'm supposed to be. This is the way it is. If you don't like it, bad luck. And I just did what I did. Everything was, and the whole vibe changed.
Yeah.
The whole vibe changed, which was good. Yeah. Then when I did have that conflict with someone who, you know, basically just, like something happened, but it was basically I had to make an announcement. It was a quick fix. And I was just caught off guard. I didn't actually mention everything I had to mention. Walked in, I go, oh, sorry, just the question was, oh, why didn't you do this bit? I was about to say, why didn't you get up and come and walk to me and see that we are doing this project together? You could have got your stuff in. You saw me up there. Why didn't you get up? You just sat there. I didn't say that. I've gone, what I did was I problem solved. I go, right, I'll fix this. Walked out, fixed it up and put a announcement where I had to do, just so everyone could see what they're doing. So, and then I walked in, I go, guess what? Fixed it, problem solver, bang. And I walked off.
There you go.
And
it's all about how you respond to situations. If you were to respond to that differently and be like, well, nobody else is doing anything, this is bullshit, and you come at it like, if nobody's going to fix it, then why should I kind of attitude, that perspective is going to only bring you more problems. You can leave the end of the day, like Jay did, accomplishing things and not leaving the workday angry.
Yeah.
But if you show up with the attitude like everybody's going to fuck around, nobody does anything right, everybody's slacking, you show up with resentment and subconscious blocks towards your coworkers that will in turn make them subconsciously present that version of themselves to you. If you've got it in your mind that everyone around you is an idiot, they're going to present that idiot mentality back to you because it's already been perceived in your head that that's the way that they are.
I was going to say with the guys regarding the people who think you're an idiot, it's not about that. It's about you'd hope that someone would pull their way, but they've got this, but people have got an attitude that
maybe not idiot, but that's
no. I know what you're saying. No. I know most people
like crackers, people who aren't doing the full job, people who are, feeling lazy or confused about things that just aren't taking the initiative. Anybody who's not in a good flow, not in a good mindset, if you come at them with the perspective of these people suck, they're going to show you the sucky version of themselves. But if you come at it with the perspective of everybody's here to work together, we can all do this together, and we're all going to help each other pull the weight, then you'll be met with that perspective of everybody's going to, step up.
Yeah, unfortunately, in these days and ages, and I found it, this is why, and this is the conflict we have, right? So you've got people who, I think the conflict for me is I'll do everything. And this is where I fall in a heap myself. You do everything and they go, oh, he'll fix it. But indirectly you're affected because you're affected by them being slack or no idea or whatever the hell's going on. But they don't communicate that. They go, oh, you fix it. You'll be there to fix it. And, it's not that's not a case of you can do what you have to do, you know what I mean? But then hopefully they wake up and hopefully they learn that, there's working together, right? That's fine. But there's actually doing your job as well.
Yeah. Well, that's where crucial conversations comes in, right? If you feel like you're picking up more slack, but you're not able to communicate that to your coworkers, reading that book is a really good way to help give you pointers on how to communicate that, hey guys, like I'm doing most of the work here, and how to do it in a way where they're actually going to hear what you have to say and be like, oh, wow, you're right. I do need to step up. And I'm finding ways to approach it in a way where you don't seem like you're attacking them for not doing anything, or you don't feel like you are being high and mighty because you're the one that does it all. You're approaching them in a way that's constructive.
So I would add also kind of the focus, and tying in the ego to everything. So basically, focus needs to be on, if you focus on problems, look for problems, you're going to have problems. If you focus on solutions, you'll find solutions. So you have to shift your focus, the energy focus, and also focusing on ego is right, separation, right? I have to do everything myself. These people are, it's like separation when you focus on unity instead of separation. So if you have more of that focus, you might come up with solutions that involve everybody and where you can communicate your needs without coming like triggering somebody or, things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
No, it's really, it's one of those things where we're sort of dealing with society and stuff, but unfortunately in this world, especially when you're in a workplace, you pick up the slack because you're indirectly affected, and you have to, because then you go, their slackness or whatever, their inability to, whatever it may be, is affecting you. But then I guess it's a case of, like I said, I fixed the problem, but then I guess my ego got involved and I said, yeah, problem solver. And I walked off. That's basically what I said. I wasn't being smart. I've walked out and go, yep, done, problem solver. I wasn't, well, it could have been directed in that way, depending on how to take it. I couldn't care less, to be perfectly honest, because I fixed the problem. I wasn't being rude about it. I was just gone. But it's really weird where people, this is where I don't think people, they'll take the negative route where someone will say, oh, I can't know this. And they go, right, I'll fix it. And off I go. It's like, it takes you 3 days to say, oh, thanks for fixing that. And you can't get out of your own ego and go, when I said problem solver, you couldn't get out of your own ego and go, thanks so much for doing that. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, now I feel
Well,
like an
that's
idiot. You know what I mean?
well,
Get it.
that's another thing about, knowing how to approach the conversation, where if you're looking for a response to get acknowledged for the work that you've done, rather than approaching it like, hey, problem solver, coming at it from a way of, hey guys, so this is something that happened today, and kind of sitting everybody down and being like, this is what happened, this is what I noticed, and this is what I did to fix it, then you might actually get a little bit more of a acknowledgement, because other people won't feel put off by the fact that they weren't able to step up and do it, or that they didn't take charge to step up and do it, because that can actually bruise people's egos too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people want to step up and fix it, but they're nervous or scared and they don't. And then when someone else does, they feel even worse about themselves. So to come in the room as the fixer and be like, all right, problem solved, I fixed it, problem solver, and then just leave, the people that wanted to help but couldn't for whatever reason, it's going to make them feel worse. But if you were to come in and be like, hey guys, I noticed a problem, this is what happened, I took charge and I fixed it, if this happens again, if anybody else would like to come up and help me fix the problem, that'd be great. If not, this is how to fix the problem if I'm not around, and here you go. And then people would be like, man, thanks for helping out with that.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. You definitely do that. And my direct comment to the problem solver when I said it, I was at a big smile on my face, and I was going, yeah, problem solver, yeah, like that.
Yeah, and that's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. But the thing is, you have to, I think, let's go back to Russell Brand and says, we have to accept people for what they are. But then it comes down to your point, where you have to come to a point where, yeah, you could accept people for what they are. But then if they're affecting you indirectly and you get run down or like, because you're bloody holding two towers up instead of just your own, then it comes to a point where your conversations come in. What about we point to this lady here? So she got me into, we were talking the other day about talking about this kind of stuff, and she had some very good advice.
What, on taking a break?
Keep going.
Oh, yeah. So I guess talk about mental burnout, finding the balance and things. So we're kind of similar. You seem like kind of like all that energy like me. Your mind wants to go, man, you have all these projects, working on all these things just like me, and which is good. It's great, I'm productive for whatever. I get stuff done, cool. But it does take a toll on, and that's for jobs, anything I do, I'm like all in. I'm a very, extreme person. I think that has to do with kind of the addiction mentality I have too. Everything is like all or nothing. It's like there's no balance. But what happens when you do that? You get burnt out, and it's not very good for your mental health. So like even this week, we have all the energy shifts and everything going on, right? I felt emotional. I just felt burnout. I didn't even have the energy for 5 days. I didn't make videos. I didn't do anything, which is fine. That's okay. But for me in my head, I'm like, oh no, I didn't do this. I'm lazy. I didn't do anything for this many days. But really it's not. We need to like reprogram ourselves, right? It's not lazy. You need time to rest, to do energy, to do all the stuff we want to do. You can't be depleted. You can't get from an empty cup. And that also includes putting, other people's needs below ours. But it's just taking a break. Like I told him, I was like, challenge yourself. I was like, can you have a day where you just do nothing? Because yesterday he was like, oh, I'm busy doing this. I was like, can you just sit there and do nothing? He's like, oh, I'm just going to do 2 videos. Like only 2 videos is nothing, but it's challenge. I have trouble doing this too, right? Even on the weekend. I mean, I did rest for 5 days. It's cool, but I have some Saturdays where I'm like, I'm just kind of resting. Like, oh no, I need to edit this video and do a thumbnail. I need to do this. Like my brain resists just resting it. My brain, I can barely sit and watch a movie. See what I'm saying? Like I can't, it's so hard for me to sit. I go to sleep if I'm tired. That's not a problem, but it's just sitting there and doing nothing. Like, and I'm not even talking meditating, because even meditating is something, you see what I'm saying? But it's just like, can I just sit and like chill? It's very hard for like, I almost freak out. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why that's so hard for me to do nothing.
I'm going to try that today. That's my job.
I challenge you.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'm going to do it. Yep. Laying on the couch won't work for me. I know that, but just plodding around and doing things at your own, if you want to do it, like, I don't know, just have a quick clean of the house or whatever it may be.
Oh, that's something. So
That's
I'm
something.
talking about like, well, I mean, I don't think I'm like something that's more relaxing. I mean, like something, I'm not saying watching TV or like just bummer, like, but I'm saying like not doing something that's like work related or something.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like
Yeah. That's
productive, like a task, not doing a task.
Yeah, that's right. No, but
I'm not saying you have to sit there and do nothing and stare at a wall all day. Like,
no. I know what you're saying. Yeah. But what
Yeah.
I'm saying with mine, when we just not, it's not a priority thing. You just walk around and go, oh, I'll just clean this. Yeah, no worries. Just do that. And
That's what I did yesterday.
Yeah,
I literally nothing. I stayed in bed until like 2 in the afternoon just because I could, and my cat wouldn't get off me. So I just took that as a sign to like stay in bed.
Your cat knows exactly.
Oh yeah, he's great. He's perfect for that. And when I got up, I was like, oh, I should wipe this bathroom counter down. And that's like the biggest thing I did yesterday was like wipe down my counter. Oh, I took some photos of vintage toys too for my eBay page, but like that was not
vintage toys. Well, okay, hang on a minute. You've sparked my ears. What are we talking about?
So I maybe you guys don't know this, but one of the things that I do on the side is I sell vintage toys on my eBay page, and the vintage like collectible streetwear type stuff too. And I just added a whole bunch of Batman stuff.
Oh, why did you tell me this? You've seen my collections.
I know you love Batman.
Oh yeah, well, love a lot of things.
Are you going to buy something from her? Are you going to buy something from her eBay?
The cool thing about this collection I just put up, actually, it belonged to my best friend Kevin when he was a child. He's passed away now. He passed away about 4 years ago. And his mom gave me all of his toys that she wasn't going to hold on to because she knew that I sell the vintage toys. And she's like, I know that you'll be able to honor these and get them into the right people's hands. So I want you to help me get rid of these so they're not in my basement anymore. So they're really, really special. And Kevin's actually like my spirit guide and like my main driving force for like learning Reiki again and like doing meditation and like taking my healing into my own hands. And like, so yeah, it's all pretty special stuff. And it was really interesting to sort through all that yesterday. So if you guys are interested in some really rad vintage toys that were played with by my spirit guide, check out my eBay page. We'll put the link in the thing.
Okay. Oh, say fidget. I'm gonna go find it. I'm gonna find it now. So we're at actually mentally, it's been a massive shift with everything. What's your eBay page quickly?
Heylook.nostalgia.
Heylook.nostalgia. Okay. All right. So we look at all the stuff that we've been doing. I mean, it's been crazy. Where are we at? Where are we at now? Because it is coming down. Where are we at?
Well, I guess with the energies, where I'm at right now is I'm still sort of in this transitional period where I'm I guess accepting of the changes that are all being put in place.
Excuse me.
Yeah, no problem. All the changes right now that are being put in place by the universe, all of the lessons that I recently learned about how to speak up, when to speak up, taking the opportunity to speak and say all of the things that you want to say when the opportunity is presented to you, and not letting those opportunities slip by. Just keep going. I'm just going to keep going with the growth and keep taking these lessons that the universe presents to me. I don't feel like I've fully come to any sort of aha moments with the trajectory of my life lately. So still taking it day by day and learning the lessons and putting what I've learned into my daily practices so that I can grow into a better future for myself. How about you, Diana?
Yeah, what I'm learning to do, I realized that I know you remember you said before we talked about the energy between the solar plexus and my sacral chakra, right? I feel like that's been going on for a long time. And it's kind of that extreme, right? So you're kind of like more in the masculine and feminine, like more the drive and then close off emotionally, or I'm the complete opposite. So I'm working on finding that balance. So I'm learning to, I think a lot of that was through like the addiction stuff, right? I kind of learned to close myself off a lot as a defense mechanism for everything, just to keep myself safe. So, and I think that's why my solar plexus, that drive is so strong, but then that also enables me to get burnt out. I think that's also that. I think that's all like connected, right? So I'm learning to kind of just slow down a little bit and making a video on that actually, but the slowing down part, but just kind of be more expressive with myself and just listen to my body and just allowing myself to express and say what I mean to say. There's certain things I don't say to certain people because I don't want to express emotion. I don't know. I just got used to being closed off for so long. So I'm trying to slowly like open it up again. I have to realize there's no threat here. There's like, I'm not in a threatening situation. I'm not with people that have hurt me in the past, just emotionally or any kind of way. And even the past relationship I was in. So I'm kind of just learning that it's okay. I don't have to like close off. I can just open up a little more and express myself a little more.
Yeah, it sounds really good. Sorry, apologies for that. Just drinking lots of water these days. It's good to flush.
It is.
But last probably since start of March, that's when it's all sort of come in for me, and a lot of stuff going on. But the veils come off, and I see a lot of stuff that's happened in my about 20 years ago. So it's sort of like coming back.
Lessons repeating.
Yeah, lessons repeat. Lessons repeating because I'm at a higher consciousness to deal with it. And as I said, that situation where I had especially deal with people and people having the attitude that they respect you for who they are, for who you are. But then, you obviously got to understand that people are people, and you just go, right, that's the attitude I had. I go, people are people. And that's just the way it is. And you can fix what you can fix. Live in the present. I heard that from some lady over in the USA. Hint, hint. Keeps telling me these things. But just, had to focus. Got to focus on what's important to you. I think the other big thing for me was freedom of choice and stuff like that. Because I'll be an example. Big challenge for me was the band I'm in. We debut next week, and I went and saw a band on a couple of days ago. That's what probably wore me out. But I saw what they did, and I'm just one of these people. Not to go outdo them. That's not the attitude. The attitude is if they're at that level, I have to be at that level, because that level's very high. And even with you do it, whether it be with your band and with your books or whatever you may be doing, you like to challenge yourself and be at that level. So I just decided the next morning, I go, right. I went onto a site to get some props and spent $1,500 on lights and smoke machines. But I had it. I says, as the guy said to me, he goes, "What level do you want?" It's a really good conversation. He goes, "What level do you want to be at?" Doesn't matter what you do in life. It was a very, very good conversation of what level do you want to be at? Where do you want to be? Do you want to be here or do you want to be here? What's your attitude? And I always want to be here. I think we take that in life too. We always want to be here. So it was a really, really good conversation with the guy from the other band. And I just said, yeah, no, I said, mate, I appreciate what you just said. It's a big thing. You want to play crappy little gigs for 120 people? Or do you want to go to 400 or 500 people, which I did when I was a pro wrestler? Yeah, you had your smaller gigs, but I had my bigger gigs where I was at 1,000, 1,500.
You were a wrestler?
Yeah, I was Australian champion. Excuse me. Google, turn off. Hey, Google, turn off.
He's a man of many hats. I always find out more things that he does. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I was.
I know.
I can't keep up with it. I can't keep up.
I look at your Facebook. I'm like, what is he into this weekend? It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a flipper. Yeah, but no, 12 years ago, was it 12, 22? Yeah, about 12 years ago, I retired because I did me back in. But I was a pro wrestler for about 13 years. And I was Australian champion for a year. And I couldn't defend the belt, so I had to relinquish it because I couldn't get up to Sydney that much to defend it. So pro wrestling's they say the stage stuff, but it takes it molded me in life. I could do a whole life theories on the life lessons they taught me. So it was amazing. But just getting back to that. So you sort of looking at being better within yourself. So it was a really good conversation with another guy in another band. I just looked at it and I gone, these guys love it. And it gave me the drive to say, I love this. And I know my two others, well, there's going to be some rumblings coming up, and the conversation thing might be a good one because I might. But so where do you want to go? If someone doesn't want to come on your journey, okay, thank you very much for your time. There's the door, stage left.
Yeah.
So but it was really. Then you look at it, it's not just your band; it's about your life as well. And I think I can see all of us really taking this to the next levels, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's a really good way to look at all aspects of life. Is what level do you want to be at with this? What level of friend do you want to be? What level of partner do you want to be? What level of parent do you want to be if you have kids? What level of teacher do you want to be if you're in a position of being in a leadership role? What kind of band member do you want to be? What kind of band do you want to be? What level do you want to be at in all these different areas?
Absolutely.
And what do you need to stick to reach that level? One of my coaches taught me in a free thing that I did with her that really stuck with me was what level do you want to be at, and what boundaries do you have to set to ensure you'll get there?
That's a great way of looking at it, because you look at, and this is the lesson that coming up, and I think we actually have like we're talking about the life lessons that come in and we learn that recur, and I think these lessons to become better. Where do you want to be? And I think if you do analyze your life, I know when I had talked to him the other day, I analyzed certain things where I've been in life, and I go, well, I did well here, here, and here, and just because I had belief, and I go, no, I can still do it. You know what I mean? I just had that inner belief that I was going. I mean, it took a while, don't get me wrong, but I still did it. So having that attitude might help you out in a lot more ways, And it's also great to have good people.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have an attitude and you have determination of this is the level that I want to be at. These are the boundaries that I need to stick to get there. And these are the type of people I want to surround myself with. And just knowing that once you've got it set in your mind that this is what I want, these are my boundaries that I'm going to follow, everything will eventually start to fall into place. But you just have to stick with it and stick with, this is the level that I want to achieve. And I'm going to set my life up in a way that makes it so that that level is attainable. Because if you've got a level of, I want to be this type of band with this type of stage effects and this type of performance and this type of equipment, you can't get there if your boundaries are, I'm just going to go spend my money on whatever I want on the weekends and I'm going to go spend my money drinking. No, if you want to go and be that level of band member, you have to take your practice seriously. You have to take your extracurricular activities seriously so that you can save your money to put towards the band.
That's exactly right.
You have to set the boundaries of the kind of person and the kind of activities you're going to participate in to make sure that you get there. Because you can have this dream of being all the way up here, but your boundaries will only get you this far. Because your boundaries don't allow you to take that other step, because you're allowing too many things in your life that don't match with the frequency of what's up here and the level you want to get to.
That's where the problem is though. Yeah, that's where the
making
issue.
Sure the frequency of your boundaries matches the frequency of the level you want to get to.
Yeah. That's where we get, and it's good to have reinforcing friends like yourselves and just to help you out with that, because it's good to have that support. I mean, we do that, but then we look at it and say, yeah, our frequency's got to be up there. And you're dead right about the attitude you got to have. I mean, I look at the attitude which you just said about going out and drinking. All that's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong, but
No, not at all.
where do you want it? Yeah, exactly. I was just saying, you can go and do that, or in my case, I'm going to save you money so I can go and buy these 2 smoke machines that cost me $1,500. But I know you only debut once. There you go. There's some more things. A debut is a debut. Debut is the first time. You're going to make a good impression.
You only get one.
You only get one. That's the attitude. I'm having all these attitudes, and these are thanks to you guys as well that you're having you're really reinforcing those attitudes and bringing them out. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I think the simple way to do it is just that version that you want to be, whatever that is. You have your goals, right? How would that version of me think, feel, and act? What would I believe about myself? My self-concept, that's very important, because if you don't even see yourself as that version and can't even imagine that, it can't manifest. You know what I mean? You're not in that state. So, and also, what would you believe about others and how people respond to you? So I just think, stepping in that new version, that's how to take action. And would this version of me take on this action or not? What kind of choices would I be making? Things like that.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's fantastic. Yeah, it's great. It's just, and I guess in all these lessons that come up for you to challenge you to say, right, do you want to be better? Or, as I said, working with people's attitudes and working where are you doing too much? It's all a little challenge, but I think all of us are doing really, really well.
Yeah.
All right. Has anyone got any more? Oh, no, I think that was a really good chat, to be perfectly honest, ladies. I was going to say gentlemen, but where's Batman? Where's Batman? He's the one who called us up on this. Batman, where are you?
Never. Well, but in his defense, you did tell him a certain time, so he was probably thinking the other time.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna double check your time next time. Next time I'm double checking. I didn't even look at. I assume that, but it's okay. It's okay.
Well, I think this is good. Now this is the lesson. So I've written something.
I'm gonna audit you.
Hey, that's fine.
I'm auditing you.
I don't. This is the thing where this is a great thing. I write something up, and I don't mind, and it's a good attitude to have to say, check it, see if it's right. That's coming the teacher in me. So I always know, because I've got so many things going on. You know what I mean? You don't know if it's right, so just double check, see if it's right, go from there, and then go right. We're doing this, this, and this. There's your fit. It's fixed. No problem.
Yeah.
Done.
Exactly.
I was going to say to you, you look like I was watching Titans the other day, and you are definitely Raven.
Sarah. Am I Raven?
Right, and she's connected to the universe, so she's got all these mystical powers. So that is you down to a T.
Yeah, a little bit.
Not a little bit. What are you talking about?
Definitely.
Definitely 100%. You're like our spirit mother to us. I think you really are. And the way you express yourself is.
We're the bad children. We're the bad.
People. We're Nightwing, Starfire.
I don't know. He's
Nightwing, Starfire, and our spirit mother Raven. There you go. You keep us under control. Just the way you speak and everything is wonderful. And even that inner child thing we did the other week, that was awesome. Hope that went well for you.
Yeah, no, I did. I wanted to post that, but I re-listened to it, and there was a couple of points where the iPad kept beeping.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna see if I can edit that out somehow. If not, I'm gonna just edit the one that I put on my Instagram and put that up there. I'll do a bunch of different inner child ones. There's so many different things you can do with your inner child. So
it did help me. It did help me a hell of a lot. It really did.
Good. Yeah, use that anytime too, like anytime you want.
Fantastic. Okay, so we'll get Diana to do the closing. Starfire, over to you.
So this is Diana from Trailblazers of the Universe YouTube channel, and we are ending our wonderful life theory session. So check us out in our, we all post different versions of these videos on our channel at different times, and we edit different parts of it. So still check them out to get different clips. And we put our social medias on there as well.
Yeah.
And so I'm obviously Jay from Journey of a White Feather. I've got 2 new videos coming out, 35 and 36 chapters. Can't believe I've done that many. It's amazing. But anyway, love and life. And thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much for joining. Over to you, Raven.
So my real name is Sarah. I can be found on social media at Small Sarah Big Soul. I am on YouTube and Facebook and, oh no, I'm not on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and Instagram. And I'm on TikTok as well, but there's not much going on there yet. I have to do more. But yeah, these guys are much more on top of their social media posting than I am. I just enjoy coming along for the ride and doing the chats. And
ladies and gentlemen, that was Life Theories with the three amigos and Batman. Peace
Next
out.
time we'll see you.
Peace out. Namaste. Stay safe. Stay healthy.
Thank you so much to everybody who stuck around for the entire episode. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and we will see you next week for another episode of Life Theories. Stay beautiful, everyone.